Good morning. I hope that you're all doing all right and making it through. I've just been laying low here, working from home, working on various projects, and taking some time to rest, which has been really, really nice. So I'm back, and what I'm going to do, at least the plan is to share with you a weekly message here on Facebook. And I will also be sharing this with First Lutheran Church of Waco. And I hope that these messages bring you a little bit of comfort and peace at this time. So what I've decided to do in these weekly messages is I'm going to try each week to wear one of my favorite t-shirts, particularly social justice themed ones, which I have a lot of them. And today I'm wearing one of my very favorites. This is my Jane Elliott t-shirt. And Jane Elliott, for those of you who don't know, is an anti-racism advocate. And I really, really love her. She's a huge reason why I'm so passionate about anti-racism. And Jane Elliott, along with many others, have instilled passion in me to continue learning how to become an anti-racist racist. And if you want to have that conversation with me sometime, let me know. This quote is very important to me. Prejudice is an emotional commitment to ignorance. It's a statement I try to live very close to and try to keep central in my mind because it can be so easy to be prejudiced, to use our own opinions to navigate through life rather than real experience and understanding, which I've been guilty of. I think at times we all have been guilty of that. So this is one of those statements that is near and dear to my heart and is one that I think is extremely important for ministry as well. Today's gospel text is taken from John chapter 9 and is about the man who was blind all his life and encounters Jesus. And this is where Jesus spits in the dirt, makes mud, and spreads it on this man's eyes. He goes then and washes his eyes and is able to see. And this man has great joy and enthusiasm about this gift that has been given to him. I mean, who wouldn't have that after an amazing thing like that, right? But unfortunately, the people around the man who can now see are more concerned about who did this to him and how it was done, rather than focus on the fact that a miracle had just happened. A man who has been blind all his life was given the gift of sight, but all the people can do is refuse themselves to see the wonders that happened. Jesus points this out and shows that there is such a thing as spiritual blindness. And we all have blind spots in our life and cannot see some things. So we need to be about opening our spiritual eyes with God's help. The story got me thinking about my own blind spots, particularly this last week because I've had extra time to really sit and contemplate my life situations. I think we all have a degree of blindness inside us. And I think sometimes that blindness can be ignorance, because I believe that we all have ignorance embedded in us. And as life goes on, little by little, we break the ignorance that we have inside ourselves. So looking at this in a positive light, there's always something for us to learn and grow from. Two things in particular this last week that were eye-opening for me. One was the fact that I take an awful lot of things for granted, at least a lot more than I thought. In this time of being homebound, I am realizing some things that I've never really given thanks for before. Something I think that we are all experiencing is that we're so used to just going to the store and being able to get whatever we want when we want it. And right now, that's not the case. We are having to alter our schedule to get what we need when we need it. And sometimes we don't get what we need right now. And that's something that I took for granted and didn't really focus on the gift of that ability to just go out and get what I need. But I'm now definitely aware of that, and believe me, I'm giving thanks for the things that I'm able to attain right now, and hopefully in the future we'll remember this time and give thanks for those gifts. The second thing that was eye-opening for me is the importance of our need for one another. Now, that may sound cliche, but I cannot tell you how strange it has been not being able to see my members at First Lutheran and extend a handshake or a hug. It's amazing how much I didn't realize a gift, the great gift that was. And I miss being together on Sunday in person. And right now I long for that ability of being together. And it's only been about a week and a half, but I miss that. I miss the ability to be in the presence of my friends and loved ones. For the safety and protection of everyone, I'm not gathering with others right now, as most of us are doing that right now. At least not in person anyway. And I know in the days ahead, I will continue to miss that ability to be together, but I've been made aware of how great of a gift that is, that I maybe didn't think of this much until now. And so for me, an internal blindness has been healed, and now I see the importance of being together in person. There are many other things that I've been made aware of this last week, but I wanted to share those particular ones because I think we're all feeling that right now. And so right now, one of the greatest things that we can do, and I've mentioned this already, is to use our technology to make phone calls, to do video calls. And I've been doing that like crazy this last week, connecting with people from my congregation, my colleagues, my friends, and my family. And I feel more connected right now than I have in a long time. But when the time comes to get back together with everybody, it'll be all the more amazing. And a handshake and a hug will go a very long way. I find God showing up in so many places that I hadn't really looked before, and for that I give thanks. And in the midst of awakening, in the midst of those ignorances that have been broken within me, I'm finding joy and peace that I did not know were there. And I hope that as we continue to live in our world that is right now so topsy-turvy, that we can break ignorance within and find the joy that takes its place. God has a way of doing that in our lives, and I firmly believe that God will continue to do that for us. But if we only sit and realize the gifts that we have, will we be able to do that? And I also hope that we continue to realize the importance of our need for one another. I hope that as you continue to be present in this time of life, that you are able to find joy and peace in things you haven't before. With God in our lives and with beautiful creation that surrounds us, joy and peace aren't too hard to find. It's just a matter of how we see it and how our eyes are open to it. And sometimes it will be hard to find those things when times are difficult and crazy. But when you find your eyes opening to new understandings and newfound joy, celebrate that. Sing a song, dance, take a walk, enjoy it when it comes, and celebrate that. To leave you today, I want to share with you one of my all-time favorite quotes by Anne Frank, and this is literally one of my all-time favorites. I've been thinking a lot about her lately. During the Nazi reign, she and her family were confined to an attic for 2 years. They were in hiding for 2 years. Think about that. Unable to go outside and feel the grass on their feet, unable to go visit friends and other family. They were truly confined for 2 years. And yet, in Anne's legacy, her beautiful diary, we are able to experience her emotions and feelings and the joys that she was able to find even in the midst of being trapped in an upper attic with several others. And with her beautiful spirit was able to find the good even in the midst of the most difficult of situations. So today, I leave you with this beautiful quote by Anne Frank, taken from her diary. The best remedy for those who are afraid, lonely, or unhappy is to go outside, somewhere they can be quiet, alone with the heavens, nature, and God. As long as this exists, and it certainly always will, I know there will always be comfort for every sorrow. And I firmly believe that nature brings solace in all troubles. Blessings to you all this week. Take care.